City Commission Workshop, July 15th, 2024, to order. Let's go ahead and call the roll.
Commissioner Fournier?
Here.
Commissioner Moss?
Here.
Commissioner Perkins?
Here.
Commissioner Segerson-Eaton?
Here.
Vice Mayor McGee?
Here.
Mayor Harden?
Here, if we can all please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, give us wisdom to consider this budget for the residents of our city. Do the best we can, and with your guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I get a motion approving today's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimous. Thank you. That takes us up to presentation. City Manager's presentation, budget overview and summary, FY 2024-2025. Mr. Harrison.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to immediately turn it over to Arietta.
Wise choice. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commissioners. Welcome to the July Budget Workshop. I would like to take an opportunity to thank and express my gratitude to the City Commission, City Attorney, City Clerk, Internal Audit, residents, and advisory boards for their input and collaboration in the preparation of the fiscal year 2025 recommended budget for the City of Pompano Beach. I would also like to acknowledge the invaluable guidance of the City Manager in navigating various challenges and opportunities throughout this budget season. I extend my thanks to the Assistant City Manager, Ms. Siebel, Mr. Donovan, and Mr. Bosworth, and dedicated support staff in the City Manager's office, to Audrey, Shelley, and Carrie for their unique contributions. So I'm grateful to all city departments for their hardworking staff, for their professionalism, and of course to my own team members, Liliana and Caron, for their tireless and exceptional work. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and we're committed to continuing doing good. So with that, I will turn over to the presentation. We're going to keep it short and brief. All right. So this presentation aims to present to the City Commission the fiscal year 2025 recommended budget for all funds, focus on the general funds, and seek the City Commission consensus on the fiscal year 2025 recommended operating millage rate, fire assessment fees, and the 5-year capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2025-2029. This is the outline of the presentation presented. We're going to go and explain variances, especially from fiscal year 2024 adopted budget. On the policy recommendations, we have considered the service levels, the fire assessment fees, and the millage rates that will, of course, determine the service levels. We have a total recommended citywide revenue budget of $487.8 million, and that represents a $62 million increase compared to fiscal year 2024 adopted budget of $425.7 million. Okay, so we're going to start with the variances, explain the variances for major categories. Charges for services increased by $9 million, and this is primarily due to the anticipated revenue collections for the planning and zoning fee, which will cover the cost of such services, $4 million. Water and wastewater fees, $4.2 million. No significant changes for fines and forfeitures. Intergovernmental revenues increased by $3.3 million. This is primarily due to the increase in state revenue sharing and local revenue sharing. Licenses and permits decreased by $2.8 million, primarily due to the decrease in the building permit revenues, as are anticipated, and the increase in the franchise fees. Building permit fees are anticipated to be reduced, and the new planning and zoning fee will be established to cover such services. Miscellaneous revenues increased by $1.7 million due to the updated fire revenues, interest earnings, and rentals. Other financing sources decreased by $5 million due to the decrease in the fund balance for various capital improvement projects. Other sources increased by $52 million, and this is primarily to the utility 2024 debt proceeds of $46.1 million to finance the major utility improvement projects and increase in the internal service charges allocation by $4.75 million. Transfers decreased by $8 million, primarily due to the increase in transfers from the general fund to the EMS fund, $1.3 million, from the building inspection funds to the building inspection capital fund, $607,000. There is also a decrease in the transfers from the general fund to the general capital improvement fund, $7.2 million, a decrease in utilities and stormwater transfers to the capital funds for capital improvement projects. Ad valorem revenues increased by $10 million. This is due to the increase in the property valuation. And non-ad valorem revenue taxes increased by $1.1 million, primarily to the water utility tax and communication service tax. All right. The expenses budget, of course, we are presenting a balanced budget, so it is a total city budget. It is $487.8 million. 46% of that is the general fund budget of $222.9 million. The general capital fund, $11.6 million. Debt service funds, these are the operating funds for $9.7 million. Special revenue funds, $63.1 million. Enterprise funds, $142 million. And internal service funds, $38 million. So we're going to explain the variances for by each fund, major fund categories. We're going to move on with all these clusters of various different funds, and then we will head to the general fund. The increase from fiscal year 2024 of $62 million overall, the major drivers for this increase, it is $7.3 million in salaries and benefits adjustments and $5 million in pension contributions, $5.5 million increase in internal service fees, and $1.7 million increase in insurance premiums, $7.8 million increase in repair, maintenance, utility service, and operating supplies, $33.8 million increase in capital budget due to the 2024 utility bond financing of the capital improvement projects, and a $4.8 increase in debt service related to the payments of the utility bonds. There is a decrease of $8 million in transfers due to the timing of planned utility financing of the utility capital improvement projects. We're going to start with the internal service funds. There is a total of $38 million. Central Stores Fund, we're going to explain the variances for various funds here. Central Stores Fund budget for fiscal year 2025 is comparable to the fiscal year 2024 adopted budget. The $326,000 increase in information technologies is primarily due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits and an additional business application analyst position, which is converted from a part-time to a full-time. Central Services Fund, there is an increase of $414,000 due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits and a transfer of 2 full-time positions from the general fund. So this is just a transfer. $1.6 million in the health insurance funds is due to the annual adjustments of insurance premiums. $797,000 in risk management is due to the annual adjustments of insurance premiums and claims. $502,000 in vehicle services is due to the adjustments of auto parts, replacement of the garage doors, and annual adjustments of the salaries and benefits. Moving on with the special revenue funds. Total budget for the special revenue funds is proposed at $63 million. There is $1.9 million in the building inspection and building capital fund, and this is mostly related to the increase in personnel services, transfers from the building fund to the building capital fund, and the internal service charges. We have a new fund this year that we're going to budget for. This is a transportation operating surtax fund. We accounted for this fund separately in the past, but did not go through the formal adoption. So this year we're including into the budget. It is to pay for the community shuttle program, and the proceeds are coming from Broward County surtax proceeds. And it is estimated that this program will cost $480,000 for fiscal year 2025. We're not utilizing any local law enforcement trust fund, so we utilized last year $475,000. This year there is no available balance to cover the SRO program. $3.6 million, we have an increase in the EMS fund, and this is mainly associated with an increase in personnel costs. CDBG funds, they remain stable from last year. The project management CIP is also, it does not show any major variances. Enterprise funds. We have, as we mentioned before, utilities and department is anticipated to issue the 2024 utility debt service bonds. We are recording $46 million for fiscal year 2025. However, that is in total is going to be approximately $78 million, but it's recorded in 2 years, in 25 and 26. So the majority of the increase is coming there from the debt proceeds and also the capital projects that are funded through that revenue source. Stormwater and stormwater capital funds. This is the decrease here by $1.4 million is due to the stormwater capital improvement project, the timing of the capital projects. There is an increase of $127,000 in air park operating and capital funds, and this is mostly due to the scheduling of capital projects and the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits. Solid waste fund, it's $1 million increase from the previous fiscal year. There are increases and annual adjustments to salaries and benefits. There are 2 full-time code compliance officers proposed. There are adjustments to the hauling charges and equipment replacement. Operating debt service funds, these are the series 2018 and 2021 for payments of debt and principal of the GO bonds. They are updated based on schedule and payments. General Capital Improvement Fund is allocated at $11.6 million. For fiscal year 2025, staff is proposing to fund several new and existing capital improvement projects. The total parks and recreation is $2 million to fund the skate park at Community Park. The total public works, which is including streets, bridges, roads, infrastructure, $7.8 million. There are other operating expenses there that are included in the total. However, the 5-year capital improvement plan was presented to the City Commission and is part of the adopted recommended budget. All right, we're going to move on with the general fund, and we'll focus on the variances here from the previous fiscal year. We're proposing a fiscal year 2025 recommended general fund budget of $222.9 million. The support services account for 19%, or $42.8 million. Public works, facilities engineering, 15%, or $34.2 million. Parks, recreation, cultural affairs, tourism, and marketing, 11%, or $23.6 million, and public safety, $122.3 million, or 55% of the total budget. The general fund budget for Expenditures, other expenses increased by $2.5 million. This is primarily associated with the debt service for capital lease. Tax increment financing, this is the allocations to the CRAs. There is a decrease in transfers of $5.9 million due to the net impact of one-time funding allocated in the general capital fund. We allocated last year about $13 million, so there is a decrease by $7.2 million there, and an increase to the EMS fund by $1.3 million. Operating expenses increased by $8.8 million. The police services increased by $2.2 million. The total BSO consideration includes 16 SROs, about $3.5 million, and regular annual contract adjustments. We are utilizing the federal local law enforcement trust fund by $1.1 million to fund the SRO this year, portion of the SRO. Utilities maintenance accounts increased by $3 million and internal service funds by $2.4 million. Personnel services increased by $6.7 million. This increase is contributed to the general and firefighter pension contributions by $2.9 million. Annual salaries and adjustments increased $3.8 million to include the new full-time positions for various departments in the general fund, which is about $451,000. Now we're going to look at the general fund expenditure variances by each department. We have the general government department. There is an increase there for $973,000. This is primarily due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits, pension contributions, which is $515,000, and we have a net effect of 2 positions. So we have some moving parts here on the positions. We transferred 2 positions, but we added 5. Operating expenses, $458,000 for programming and maintenance. Finance, $239,000 is due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits. Development services, no major variances. Code compliance, the increase here of $403,000, it is due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits and internal service charges. Police services, $3 million. The increase is primarily due to the annual consideration for police services contract, $2.2 million, which includes the SROs. We have an increase in the pension contribution, $475,000, and also we have budgeted for the ShotSpotter program, $341,000. Fire department increased by $4.9 million. That is mainly due to the increase in personnel costs, including salaries and benefits, $3.4 million, and internal service charges, $841,000. Public Works increased $1.2 million due to the annual adjustments, internal service funds, charges, and maintenance of facilities. Engineering, no major variances, mostly due to the salaries and benefits. Facilities maintenance, $3.2 million. This is primarily due to the cost increase in utility charges, $2.5 million, and the FDOT lightning maintenance paid by the FDOT grant at $240,000. Parks and Recreation increased by $840,000. This increase is due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits, $500,000, which includes the 2 park rangers positions that are proposed for 2025. Maintenance and programs for facilities, $400,000. Non-departmental decreased by $3.3 million. It's mostly due to the decrease in transfers to the general capital fund and tax increment financing, but also debt service for capital lease, Finally, the housing and social services is due to the increase of $290,000 is due to the annual adjustments of salaries and benefits. We have estimated approximately $117.4 million in non-ad valorem revenues. Non-ad valorem taxes are about $19 million, franchise fees $40 million, intergovernmental revenues $19 million, charges for services $12 million, fines and forfeitures $625,000, and miscellaneous and transfers $5 million. Okay, we're going to explain the major variances here for non-ad valorem revenues. Non-ad valorem tax revenues increased by $980,000 due to the adjustments of utility tax for $615,000. Franchise and fire fees increased by $703,000 due to the annual adjustments of franchise taxes. Intergovernmental revenues increased by $1.6 million associated with the adjustments of state and local revenue sharing. Charges for services increased by $4.8 million, primarily due to the anticipated revenue collection for the new planning and zoning fee, $4 million. Miscellaneous and transfers increased by $371,000 due to the annual adjustments. Other sources decreased by $6.3 million due to the one-time nature of the related to the transfer of capital projects. As we mentioned earlier, there is $6.1 million in fund balance that we're utilizing this year to fund various capital improvement projects for fiscal year 2025. On the proposed fire assessment fees, we are not proposing any increases or adjustments to the adopted fire fees for fiscal year 2025, so for recommended fire assessment fees remain the same. However, the estimated revenues have been updated based on Broward County July 1st data. There is, we need to always note here that the general fund ad valorem revenues will cover approximately 100% of the ocean rescue and about 37% of the EMS budget, which is a transfer to the EMS from the general fund of $10.7 million. So we have the total revenues estimated for the general fund and the non-ad valorem estimates. So we are calculating the ad valorem requirements that we need to balance the general fund. The city received the July 1st valuation, which is the final valuation we use for budgeting purposes. And that was 10.36% increase when it's compared to the last year's July 1st valuation. It is allocated at approximately $21 billion. So we have $222.9 million in estimated expenditures, and then estimated non-ad valorem revenues at $117 million. The requirement to balance the fund, it is $105.5 million in ad valorem taxes. Divided that by net mill, calculates the millage rate of 5.2705 is the recommended millage rate for fiscal year 2025. This recommended millage rate has not been adjusted from the previous fiscal year. The EMS millage rate is capped at 0.5, and the bond millage rates have been updated based on the new valuation. We do have an aggregate millage rate decrease overall for the city's portion in the tax bill based on the above-mentioned adjustments of 0.8%. And then finally, we have the next steps in the budget process. This is just a reminder of the steps as we go through the budget process. This is the July budget workshop. After that, at the end of July, during the City Commission, regular City Commission meeting, the city will adopt the preliminary fire assessment fees for fiscal year 2025. Then we have the two scheduled budget hearings in September for September 12 and September 19. the City Commission adopts the preliminary millage rates and budgets during the September 12th hearing, and then the adoption of the final fire assessment fees, and then during the final hearing are the final adoptions of the millage rates, budgets, and the 5-year capital improvement plan. And that concludes my presentation.
Very good. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Great presentation, and thank you for all the work on the budget on behalf of everyone, the entire city staff. Thank you. Let's see, is there any input from the public at this point in time? Any comments from the public on the presentation? Please come forward. Just name and address for the record.
Good morning. My name is Bessie Showers, and I'm the director of the Summer Youth Employment Program. It's not about the budget here. My name is Bessie Showers, as I said, located 1518 Northwest 17th Avenue, Pompano Beach, Florida. First, I would like to thank the mayor, the vice mayor, all the commission, and the city manager for supporting the Summer Youth Employment Program. This is a fantastic program. We have helped so many children this far. First of all, we had about 140 applications come through this year, but we was only able to hire 55 youth. Before the COVID, we was 8 weeks, and a lot of children, more children was benefited from this program. But since when the COVID came, it was cut down to 6 weeks. So we want to know, is it possible that we can be financed to go back to 8 weeks next year? We are partnered with 36 sites. We, at the present time, have children employed at 26 of those sites. Today, I have with me 2 employees, a parent, and a former employees who have gone through the program, benefited program, and now in college. This is a very important program. It have impacted many children's life here in Pompano. It's kept them off the street. So they would like to tell you how the program has benefited them this far.
Very good. Next speaker.
We also have a business owner here, Max Marine Electronic, and we're gonna let him go first. Okay.
Okay, just name and address for the record, please.
My name is Todd Hardwick. I am the sales director of Max Marine Outlet, which is a division of Max Marine Electronics. Max couldn't make it this morning. We were asked to speak here today by Miss Bessie Showers to share our experience with the Summer Youth Employment Training Program, which we became involved in 2019. In 2019, we received 1 participant, Tom. Tom came to our company and was rotated through the various departments of the business, which were working with our electronics technicians, our logistics department, and some hands-on experience with our production department. We did our best collectively, but we weren't really sure what Tom got out of the program. We attended an awards banquet held at the end of the summer, and you could see the participants were proud of their accomplishments, so we felt like our time was beneficial. About 6 months ago, Tom paid us a visit with his new wife. He told us we changed his life, and through the work he observed and hands-on experience inspired him to join the military and become a mechanic. During this time, Tom was able to see the world while deployed in Japan, several other countries, which is also the reason that he met his wife. Due to COVID, our company building a new facility and moving, we were unable to participate until the summer of 2023, which we had 1 participant, and then again, this summer, we have 2 participants. There's not a lot of these feel-good stories, so if you're able to, extend their program a couple more weeks and give a couple more people the opportunity. I know it changed 1 life, and there's several here today, and it might be able to change a couple more. So thank you for your time.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Next speaker, just name and address to the record.
My name is Mari Demowski. You want my address also? 1270 South Cypress Road, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. I'm the parent of two of the children who, my son Nicholas, he did the program last year. He's outgrown it because it's to the age of 15, but my daughter, she was in the program last year, and she's currently in the program this year. It's a wonderful program. They take the time to interview the children. They require letters of recommendation from teachers, good report cards. They do a drug test on the children. So it's a really well-thought-out program, and they place the children with local business-owned businesses. So it's really a city effort with the residents and local business owners. And as a parent, it's a really good program also because I don't have to worry about what summer camp I'm going to put them in, and that can be costly with two children. So it gives them a great hands-on experience in the workforce. It gives them an opportunity to be financially responsible. It helps with their extra summer curricular activities. If they want to go to the movies, they have their own spending money, back to school shopping. So it's just a really great program. And if they could extend it to 8 weeks, that'd be wonderful. And here's my daughter, Victoria, who can tell you about her own personal experience, who's currently in the program. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Next speaker, just name and address.
Hello, my name is Victoria Demowski. I am the daughter of Marie Demowski. My address is 1270 South Cypress Road. And I would just like to say that I love this program. I've been in this program for 2 years now. I'm 14 years old. I started when I was 13. And this program, my first year that I worked in the program, I worked at a school called Innovation Charter School. And there I did, I put Lexals on books. I searched up the books and what they were about. And I also worked with children a little bit as well. And this year, in my second year, I am working at Max Marine Electronics, and I love it there. I love it so much. And what I've done there so far is every week I go into a different section of the workplace. And so far I've built cables, I've done soldering, and I have done 3D printing. And I would just like to say that this is very good for me because it can change what I want to do in my future. And originally, what I was thinking for my future is that I would like to be a veterinarian. And so I think it's changed a little bit. So now I would like to be involved in more marine-related stuff, like marine electronics or even marine biology. And I think this program, it really helps my generation learn how to evolve into an adult. And these opportunities like these, they really help us grow and they help us understand and become more independent off of our parents. And it helps us just become who we want to be. And I would also like to thank Ms. Showers for letting me into the program, and also the people who work at Max Marine Electronics for letting me work there. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Next speaker, just name and address for the record.
Hello, good morning. My name is Gabrielle Wright. I'm 14 years old. I've been in this program for 2 years. Both years, my job site have been at Giant Steps Academy, and it has been a wonderful experience. I believe that the Summer Youth Employment Program is an important and effective program for my youth. This program teaches me work ethic and on-job experience. I also believe it teaches self-control, leadership, and confidence. I honestly don't see one negative aspect about this program. I feel that my community actually needs more programs such as the Summer Youth Employment Program.
Very good, thank you for that, appreciate it. Next speaker, just name and address for the record.
Hello, good morning. My name is DeKayla Thomas. I am 16 years old. I am a former member of Mrs. Showers' program. I started when I was 13 and Finished when I was 15. I did all 3 years. This program is very beneficial to the youth. I learned a lot, all from time management all the way to budgeting, and it also helped me when I got my first job on my own. This program also helped me lead up to the next program, which is the Summer Youth Employment Program, which I'm currently working in, and it's been beneficial to me as well as my siblings. My 14-year-old brother's in the program, and my sister she's done all 3 programs. I feel as though this program is a great experience for members, and it gives children an opportunity to not be like as on the streets as much and have something to do during the summer. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Next speaker? Anybody?
All right. Well, I guess I'll conclude it. So
His name and address.
I'll state my name, Twanisha Fuller, 613 Northwest 16th Avenue, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33069. I am one of the monitors that work with Miss Bessie Showers, and I can say it has been an honor. I actually grew up here in the city of Pompano Beach. My first job was actually her summer program at the age of, I want to say, 14. Now I have the opportunity to work with other youth and mentor them, which is amazing. As you heard, they do get a chance to get on-job work experience, learn self-control, learn discipline, learn how to be respectful on the job, and just productive citizens in our community. So I just would like to say, please, please, please increase. We definitely need it. And hey, if you all want to sponsor, we love it. Just, help us out as much as possible. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Very good. Thank you, Ms. Showers. We certainly appreciate all your efforts and your work. Further input from the public? Anyone else wish to make any comments about the presentation? Seeing none, public input closed. All right, we'll go ahead and recess this meeting until 10:10 upstairs on the 4th floor, conference room. Thank you.